sugar and booze.
She's not lying, people. She's not lying. You are listening to Anna Gasteyer, and you're listening to her new holiday album, Sugar and Booze.
That's right.
It comes out this Friday, October 25th. You can pre-order it now. Anna, what's better, sugar or booze? You get to pick one.
I can't. Sugar and booze. That's the whole point. Yeah.
It's a combo platter.
It's a combo. It's the best part of the. It was a grammatical question in the songwriting process. The best part of the holidays is sugar and booze.
It's
together.
not sugar or booze.
It's not sugar
I
or
know,
booze.
But what if you had to pick one? I'm going to be honest.
You're
gonna
picking
pick the
sugar.
booze.
I'm pressing the sugar.
You are?
He picks he's the sugar. I'm the booze.
Isn't that?
Yeah.
See, that's the whole thing. It's in every relationship. There's a sugar and a booze person.
Do you know
so true.
I've never tried eggnog ever?
Really?
Yeah. Should I try it? Is it good?
I mean, you can get
Yes.
a non-alcoholic
It is? Okay.
eggnog if you want. Like,
Yeah.
if you want to just
Oh yeah. I mean,
eggnog it for breakfast,
you
can
know what
just,
you do is you put it in your coffee.
I don't drink coffee.
He's
I'm not
real
fun.
Boy Scout here.
I am not fun to punch.
Well, my kids love it. And here's the thing. If you're really worried about like the fat content or whatever, you can also
Look at him. Does he look like he's worried about the fat
No,
content?
but I didn't know on the Boy Scout factor, he could be Mr. I don't know, 70.
He has something that we call Project 150 because he cannot get to 150 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say about
I
that.
know. Let's just.
He
it's
can
best
go.
we
What
move on.
was the highest? 149? Did we make it to 149?
I actually.
And by
passed,
we, I mean you.
I passed once. I had a giant. You ever been to one of those Japanese steakhouses?
Yes.
And it's all soy sauce and butter.
So it was just bloat.
So I went to bed. This is not a lie. I went to bed at 1:52. Didn't do anything. Woke up. Went around the scale 146. Lost 6 pounds by sleeping.
We hate you.
Moving on.
Did you piss the bed?
No, maybe I did. With soy sauce.
I just have to ask. But yeah, so I would say I like the eggnog that is the like Trader Joe's almond. They make like a non-dairy one. The dairy one's super thick and kind of rich and headachy.
It's a little phlegmy.
It's a little phlegmy.
Yeah.
But so that I put in my coffee though, and it's fantastic and it's fun. But I also enjoy a non-dairy one.
I feel like there's going to be an oat milk eggnog this season.
Oh yeah, of course. There's oat milk, everything. I
Yeah.
like oat milk.
I love it.
I'm on.
It's
I'm
so
in.
much better than the other non-dairy
It's so
milk.
much better. It's thick. You know why?
Yes.
It's really like milk.
Yes.
Like with cookies or
and
whatever.
it's not like grainy and like, you know how
Yeah.
almond milk is
Yes.
like you feel like you're eating sediment.
I do.
Very controversial topic I want you to weigh in on.
Oat versus almond. Go.
I love Christmas music. Like, I mean, my family, we have, like, that's all we listen to around the holidays.
Yes.
Like, I'm really into it. I'm into all different styles, different genres, everything.
Wow.
But we have a thing.
Uh-oh.
I have a thing. Not till Thanksgiving.
Yeah. No,
Now-
listen, I'm with you.
You
I
with
know where
me?
you're heading.
Okay.
I know where you're heading. My overlords demanded, my music overlords demanded that I don't even know what the logic is. They said it has to come out this week. I don't know why. I actually really held out and said, I do not want this record to come out until at least mid-November, till the candy corn is off the shelves,
Right.
basically. Because there's something really, it's just a bummer. Like it's like a Christmas store in July. It just makes you cranky. But my overlords demanded it, and honestly, my don't tell them, but and they're sitting outside listening. Right. But I will push. We're not touring. We start touring November 22nd. We're doing the Barnes and Noble. We're actually kicking off at the Barnes and Noble store here in New York. We have a special vinyl for them. It's Vinyl Week, and then we're doing Joe's Pub, and we're doing LA, and we're doing Atlanta, Nashville, everywhere. But we're doing that in high season, post Thanksgiving to December 21st.
What's your band like? How many, like, I mean, because I've seen, like, clips of you performing.
Yeah.
Like, such a cool, jazzy
Yeah.
sort of.
So when I
love
just
it.
do my act out on the road in real life, we bring a quintet, generally
Yeah.
speaking. But because this is an album kickoff and because we're excited, we'll have a horn section a lot, which is the most exciting thing. I have a big, giant voice when I want to, and so I really get excited to sing with a horn. I love a horny.
Me too. I do too.
Horny horn section, and and a little percussion also for Christmas. You know, we have a glockenspiel on the record, we have a vibraphone on the record, so where we can, we're going to bring those perk guys with us too.
How much fun is it saying glockenspiel?
A little more glockenspiel. It's really fun. But so we will. So we'll try to have as many people as possible, and hopefully everyone will be in plaid.
Yes, definitely. Your voice is amazing. Your
Thanks.
voice is amazing. Like, there'll be like, we both listened to the whole album last night.
Oh,
and
thanks.
there'll be notes, and I'm like, good Lord, Anna Gasteyer. And I think so many people think of you as an actress and not a singer, even
As
though
a-
you've performed, you've been on Broadway, you've done all these other things.
Yeah.
Are people still surprised at how good your voice is?
I mean, I don't worry. Hopefully, you don't spend so much time. Thank you. Worrying if it's good or not, as much as like just it's super confusing to people that you occupy if you occupy more than one lane. It really is. And I started as a vocalist. I was a voice major. That's like how I started, and then I gave it up because I went to school in Chicago and I fell down the improv comedy rabbit hole. I found my people. I followed them out to L.A. I did the Growlings. I did SNL. I always had vocal tricks like in my back pocket, sort of as a back pocket talent, but I wrote comedy songs and jingles and things like that. But it wasn't really till I left SNL and then I doubled down. I did a bunch of Broadway shows in a row, kind of on purpose, because by singing 8 times a week, you really are in almost a Olympic athletic event on Broadway, and vocally it just brought me up to speed really fast. I was in a Broadway show for about 5 years straight between one or the other. But it also has its own limitations, very sort of strict, and there's a lot of rules on Broadway. And I love Broadway, but it is, its own rules. So when I started doing my own thing, jazz kind of felt more organic. It's improvisational. It can be fun. It can be interpretive. The producer I work with, Julian Fleischer, is kind of a downtown nightclubby jazzy guy. He is very funny. Also grew up in a classical music family, so he's like comfortable with bending the rules and constantly encouraging me to do so. And not concentrating on how I sound is actually really imperative, and having a good time is really imperative. So I think for the act in particular, and obviously the records that follow the act, the sense of joy and silliness is really present. And I kind of make a point of that for people, because I can't imagine what would be more annoying for a comedy fan to show up and then see, a very earnest woman in like a gown leaning against a piano. You know what I mean? And it's fun. So I really appreciate the compliment, but I also like, hopefully what this does is kind of marry the two.
I'll tell you when the first time your voice blew me away, I said, holy crap, this woman can sing. I was sitting there watching A Christmas Story live with my family, because we watch all those live things. And then there you show up and you do that In the Market for America,
so
which
much
you have
fun.
a new version on the
Yeah, we
album.
have a version
And
on
I was
the
like, oh my God, it was so big and body, and your voice was just so powerful. And I was like, and I came in the next morning, I said,
Yep.
oh, you got to watch this clip. She's incredible. And you reworked the song for the album.
We did rework it for the album. I mean, so that was like one of, it's nice getting older and knowing people, basically. Mark Platt produced Wicked, and he produced Grease Live, which I had a small part in. I played Principal McGee. And it was literally one of those brilliant career moments where he just called up and he said, listen, Benj Pasek and Justin Paul, who wrote La La Land, and Evan Hansen have this musical, A Christmas Story Live, and we're doing it for Fox, and we want to write a Hanukkah number, and we were wondering if you would do it. I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. And it was this great old school, scene out of Singing in the Rain, where I like went to their bungalow on the Universal lot, and they sat at a piano, and they were like, what about this? And I said, I listen to my record. I do this kind of, I'll call it klezmer jazz, like sort of silly. There's a joyful ridiculousness to that. Yeah. And they kind of scratched their heads, and then they came up with In the Market for a Miracle. And so
they wrote it for you.
They wrote it for me, which was kind of mind-blowing.
Yeah.
And I had to put it on my Christmas record, among other reasons. It's a holiday record. It's a great Hanukkah song. It's nice to have a Hanukkah song. And frankly, I didn't want to do the dreidel song. So,
I mean, on behalf of Jews everywhere, thank you.
I mean, there's really very few options. We reworked it, though. I wanted it, again, to swing a little harder and be less of sort of an Ethel Merman, belter. Yeah. And we really kind of thought about, like, I love the Nat King Cole trio albums, and I love the Christmas records in particular that he did. And so we tried to think of it in that sort of sound.
How did you decide how many classic songs to put on versus new ones?
Well, so we definitely, I wanted a good balance. I didn't want it all new songs, but we wanted to write songs that felt like throwback songs, if that makes any sense. So Sugar and Booze, and
which you wrote, right?
Yeah. And Secret Santa, and Blue Black Friday, which is the ballad I wrote, and Julian wrote a song called Nothing Rhymes with Christmas. They all
Isthmus, by the way. Isthmus rhymes with Christmas.
Isthmus. That's it. That's the only one.
I'm listening like, Isthmus. Yeah.
Isthmus. Did you think of Isthmus?
I thought of it on my own.
You must have been very
Pretty
proud
good.
of yourself.
I was so proud.
Yeah,
I
you
couldn't
should be
wait
very
to tell
proud.
you.
Did you write Secret Santa too?
I did, yeah.
It's a blast.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, there's so much there are so many rhymes with banana and Havana, and it is it's
stupid.
just delightful.
It's actually the most essential song. If you were to say what is like the essential me, I literally was walking home from school. I knew I wanted to write a Secret Santa song, something about a Secret Santa, and I just started to think that tune and that series of rhymes, and I sang it into my phone actually. And then my friend Nicholas, who I co-authored 2 of the songs with, I had him. I was like, okay, after beginning, let's write it. Nothing makes me laugh harder than when someone starts to dissect the anatomy of a song, and we're sitting there and he's like, okay, hold on. So this is about a woman who goes down to Havana, slips on a banana, and cracks her head on the sidewalk. And literally gets woke. Okay, she gets woke. Good. Got it. And we just like lean into the stupidness of it. But we really had a great time writing it. And then Maya Rudolph did harmony on it, which was just like a gift from God. She's amazing. So I was answering a question and I lost my way.
No, I feel like
you
it
were
was
asking about the
answered.
balance. I think Ted Firth, my piano player, is a real jazz pianist, and he very much, we've been working on the album for a year and a half, and he very much felt that there are a lot of really popular Christmas songs that are terrible. You know, that's why people want to kill themselves when they hear Jingle Bells too much.
What's the one that you hate so much?
Oh,
Paul
the Paul
McCartney one?
McCartney one, yeah. Simply Having a Wonderful Christmas
I
Time.
hate that song.
Hate it.
I really hate that song.
too.
I love Paul McCartney
So do
and I
I.
love the
Massive
Beatles.
Beatles fan.
I hate that
Me
song.
too.
So there are a lot that are structurally incredibly frustrating, and people play them just because it's Christmas time. So we really went back to the songbook. That's why I've got My Love to Keep Me Warm and Let It Snow and Sleigh Ride all made it on, because they're such perfect. Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. These are great American songbooks, just classic structured. The Man with the Bag is a real song. If it wasn't about the holidays, it could exist outside in its own time. Again, they're nostalgic throwback qualities to them, but they have structure that allows them then to be interpreted and manipulated and arrangements to be done for them.
I have to say, it made me, as someone who does not necessarily listen to that much Christmas music, it felt like a winter album to me.
Oh, good.
So I loved it because I was listening to it and there were all these songs. I was like, these songs are for me too.
Getting some hot cocoa,
Yes,
getting
good.
snuggly in the PJs.
Well, it is that's why I say it's really not it's secular. It's seasonal secular favorites.
It's
Right.
delicious.
It's
Exactly.
a collection of seasonal secular favorites. Because it's not. I'm not a religious person particularly. We put on one for the Jews, and then we put on "Children Go Where I Send Thee," which is a gospel traditional, just because it's a fantastic song.
it's beautiful.
It's an amazing song. But besides that, they're really songs for the winter. Yeah, and that's why Blue Black Friday again was a title that so many of these things, I don't even know where they just kind of came to me, and literally that title. I thought that in the middle of the night, if it'll be a Blue Black Friday if I don't spend it on you. And I wrote it down. And I mean, sort of ironically, but at the same time, Black Friday has become such a piece of the way that we tell our holiday story and our culture that, and then I started writing it, and it wasn't funny. It was sort of sad because there's the loneliness sometimes around Thanksgiving, and if you're not in a relationship, and I kind of wanted to write about that.
Or if you're trampled at like Target.
Well, a
because someone's
doorbuster
trying to-
doorbuster tragedy could befall your family.
Are you the tree on The Masked Singer?
What?
Are you the tree on The Masked Singer?
No, you are not the first person to ask. And let me just say, the internet thinks it's Marie Osmond. So
Oh.
Is that a denial?
it's a denial.
It's a strong denial?
It's a strong
I
denial.
mean, she's in New York right now.
I'm
so-
in New York.
They taped that thing.
I'm in New
That thing's
York.
not live.
I'm in New
It's the
York. I'm
magic of
on a
Hollywood.
Gasteyer
It's
not with a perm.
There you go.
I know we're talking about a holiday
hair is
album.
very,
She's
very
the
curly.
Tree. I'm just saying.
No, but so many people have asked me, and it's very
Yeah.
strange.
Dots being connected. That's
I
all
don't-
I'm saying.
I don't watch The Masked
What
Singer.
does your
I'm a
mom
sleuth.
think? Dalton's mom
Does
is
your mom
addicted
watch
to
She
the
hasn't
show.
been
Masked
watching this
Singer?
season.
Oh,
She
okay.
watched last season. She's not.
All right.
I
Is
checked
she-
in with her. She hasn't been watching this season.
What did she think about last season?
She loved it.
My mother doesn't know what The Masked Singer
She
is.
said, "I only wish Anna Gasteyer were
That's
on
what
it,
she
and then it
told
would
me.
be a lot better."
About it.
Can
Same.
you tell me about writing Sugar and Booze? Because it is. I actually was. I have to like look at my phone because I was jotting down some of the rhymes that made me laugh so hard.
Oh.
But tell me about writing
take
it.
notes.
And then I did. I took
Again,
notes.
another one. I hate to. This is my song. This is my songwriting. This is my Pharrell songwriting lecture. It came to me in the shower. The best part of the holidays is sugar and booze, and I just literally thought da 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 da. sugar and booze. I knew that. And then, booze has a lot of really great rhymes. But I
Yes.
also,
Yes.
write what you know. I genuinely feel that those are the best things about the holidays. I already mentioned I'm secular. And I do love food. I love the traditions of food. I love a holiday party. And we had a great time just writing, what the good things. It was a fun song to write. I don't know. It's just how to. I'm not answering it well.
No, I love that it came to you in the shower though. Like I'm always like, it doesn't feel like, I mean, it's there's so many fun. I mean, I was writing down like once a year we all deserve some fun. Grab a fork. There's damage to be done. Like
Yeah.
it's so full of joy and there's so many rhymes. It's not a short song, and I just love the idea of you like coming up with more and more.
We had a great time. I mean, the thing is, it is like I said, it's from the heart. It is it does capture the essence. I wrote it, it was the first song I wrote for the record. And it's funny, Julian was like, this is your title track and this is the title of your record.
Yeah.
Because it is very much how I feel about the holidays. I do feel like, especially now, we're very divided. People are very stressed. And it's the one time of year, no matter what you celebrate in this country, at least, that you can really check out and chill out for at least a week and maybe have some snacks and go to some parties and remember the people you like and see pictures of the kids that you haven't seen in a long time and kind of just celebrate for a second. And I do love that about I do love that about the magic of the holiday. And like you were saying, your family loves holiday music. I mean, I love those little, as I get older and have kids too, just those little traditions of just the tree lighting at 30 Rock and the kind of, there's something magical and grounding about it. And so I think I wanted the song to capture that sense of joy. I wanted a record that people could turn on, wrap presents, make drinks, have it on in the background, not, have to stop and
It's funny you mention that because we were talking about listening to it last night. I said, I actually listened to it about 3 times all the way through just while I was what you're saying. I'm just doing other stuff. I'm making some dinner. It's on. It's swinging. It's sort of
That's
jazzy
awesome.
feel. And it's just like, it's great sort of just, music to have on
That was
while
the
you're
plan.
wrapping
And there's a
presents
reprise.
or doing everything.
And what?
Yes, yeah.
There's a reprise.
Yeah.
The edit of
Yes.
Sugar and Booze.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true. That's funny on the
Which
thing.
felt very old school.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I remember when I saw
Listenable.
that the Grinch was on. I'm like, all right, how's she going to do the Grinch? I bet she's going to have because that delivers some dialogue in the middle of the songs
Yeah.
when you got to talk about And so I was very curious to see how you did that.
That one I would say is probably the most performative. We go
Yeah.
up an octave and a half, I think, in it, and it was sort of to play with it. And it's obviously got amazing comedic language, so it's a great number just to lean into that way. And it swings.
And of course, around the holidays, what's going to happen every year on the holidays that we're going to see some sweaty balls every year.
It
right?
is
every
weirdly
year?
it's funny because I don't have a best of on SNL, which hurts my feelings, but it's because it's expensive, right? Because
Right.
a lot of what I did was musical. So
That's right.
what I've ended up getting is this kind of really lovely Christmas card every year by accident. Christmas has started becoming like a big part of my life because I happen to write that Sweaty Balls sketch and because Topless Martha Stewart, they usually air as well. So I end up having like nice real estate on that Christmas special, which is, so far they haven't changed, which is lovely. So yeah, Sweaty Balls will come, some sugar and booze to fill the void.
What is
It's all about filling the void, guys.
Yeah.
That's what we're all trying to do.
It's
Trust me.
so
we're all
true.
trying to do.
What is your drink of choice and what is your sweet of choice this season?
So this season we have a lot that I'm going to be introducing on my socials. We've actually worked to make a bunch of drinks that go with the songs, which is really fun. But
Smart.
I will
tie in.
I do love we make a different drink every year. My husband likes to do a little mixology for Thanksgiving, Christmas. But there's a really good cranberry vodka punch. I'm all for a punch because actually you want it to be in the spritzer department because you want to be able to drink a lot of them.
Yes.
So that's sort of like a Prosecco watered down, spritzer situation. A Christmas spritz is usually the direction I like to go. And I like cranberries. It's very old fashioned, but they float and they look pretty in drinks. And you,
Look at that. See,
Yeah.
that's the visuals. I want to tell you something before we get out of here because I know we have to wrap in a minute. But you've had a lot of great roles, and you talk about some of your great sketches and stuff. But one of my favorite of yours, you were so great, in my opinion, on The Good Fight.
the good wife.
The Good Wife. That's what I meant. The Good Wife. And you were so great as the judge. In my opinion, once again. And,
so funny.
And I want to see you on The Good Fight. That's the thing. I want to see you get back with the Kings, and I want to see that judge again.
I would love to work with the Kings.
So
They're
good.
superstars. I mean, I just loved that show. I loved being a part of it. And again, for me, it was really fun because it was not the kind of role that I had played before.
Exactly.
You know, they take a shot on anytime you get to do as a comedian, you get to be on a 1 hour drama. It's just a cool shot.
Were you just cracking up that was her thing?
No, I was glad that
Yes.
she had like an angle.
Yes.
You know what I mean? If anything, because I think one of them, Robert, had been in law school, I think, which is how they came to know it. And one of them had a professor who was a real stickler on framing your. Yeah, that's where it came from. So it was cool to have that. You know, I'm not like a actressy, researchy actress, but I took a friend out who was a lawyer and picked her brain about the difference between, because she was a federal judge, so the difference between the sticklers, the kind of personality that's such a stickler for formalities and language, and obviously in the legal world there are a lot of those people, so it was fun to play that kind of person. I like playing exacting people. I mean, Martha Stewart is a lot like that. Even Karen Grisham, the agent that I played on Lady Dynamite.
Right, yeah.
It's fun to play
so
people
good.
who have like their own sets of laws that they're really uptight about because they're prisoners of their own device.
Well, I want to see you back. I'm going to talk to the Kings. We're going to make this happen.
Okay,
All right, we're gonna
great.
get back
I
on
love
track.
it. Thank you for everything you said about the record.
It's fantastic. Everyone, it's so much fun. It's an old school vibe with a modern twist. Sugar and Booze. It's out October 25th. Check it out on Gasteyer. Thank you so much for coming in. It's great
my
to have
pleasure,
you.
truly.